everyone, so today I have a video that I was requested to do, but before that I'm going to talk to you guys about my hair. If you're wondering what's up with it for the next couple videos and the last video that I just filmed yesterday, it is just because I dyed it, and after I dye my hair I like to give it about a week to revitalize and kind of just get its health back and its body back without using any kind of heat products on it or heated tools on it like a blow dryer or a straightener. So I apologize for that. Anyways, let's move on to the video. Now the video today was requested by a younger girl. I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to embarrass anyone. That's not what I'm, trying to do. But this video is basically about how to get a guy's attention, and, especially if you're in school. But I've decided to give it a little bit of a wider range. So I'm gonna go with how to just get a guy's attention, and after that I'm going to talk about things to do on your first date and things not to do on your first date. So let's just get started. So the first thing that I have for, getting a guy's attention is to be confident. You'll see a lot of girls, especially if you're in high school or middle school, going up to a guy or going near a guy and being like, oh, I look so bad today, or oh, I'm so fat, blah, 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 and expecting a guy to, respond to that and be like, oh, no, you're pretty. They might say that, but a guy would much rather have a girl who is confident and who is like, I look really nice today, or, not talking to them or talking to their friend, or, I feel like my hair looks good today. And even if you feel like, if you're not that confident in yourself, pick one thing about yourself that you like and, let the guy hear you say that. Maybe you'll be with a group of your friends and he'll be around and you can say, I feel like my hair looks really nice today, or I'm loving this skirt that I just bought. Get his attention, because he's more likely to turn around for that and look at what your hair looks like today, or, look at the skirt that you're wearing, and then opposed to if you say, I look so fat today, then you've already put that idea in his head, and when he turns around, he's going to look at your imperfections, and that is not what you want. The next thing that I have is don't ask him out too soon. Make sure that you develop some kind of banter, which basically means a back and forth conversation with him. Don't just walk up to some guy that you hardly know and, or some boy at school that you hardly know and be like, oh, hey, do you want to hang out? If you're dating in the real world, it's kind of different. And I just say the real world because once you're outside of school, it's a little bit harder to get a date or to find someone that you like. If that is the case and you just see someone on the street that you think is attractive and you want to talk to them, that's one thing. But if it's someone that, your friend introduced you to and you're going to be seeing him quite a few times, or if it's someone at school, you don't want to go up to them and just ask them out right away, because you're going to kind of scare them a little bit and you're going to take them off guard, and that's not what you want. You want, a little bit of a back and forth banter, because then if they reject you, it's a little bit easier to go back into the back and forth banter. Like, say I'm a guy and I say, no, I don't want to go out with you, then what do? If you don't even know him, you just say, okay, and I'll give you a tip for that later if that does happen to you. But if you don't know him, but if you do know him, you can be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll just see you at the party later, or, oh, okay, well, I'll see you when we go bowling, or you can just say, okay, that's fine, it's no big deal, so anyways, blah, 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 and make it less awkward. So that's a great thing to keep in mind. The next thing that I want to say is look your best. No, I'm not saying that, if you feel like you're unattractive, you shouldn't ask a guy out. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you should look your best. Whatever you feel like you look the best in, wear it. If you feel like you look the best with purple eyeshadow, wear purple eyeshadow. If you feel like you look the best in a dress, wear a dress. If you don't like dresses, wear pants, because the more confident that you are in the way that you look, the more confidence is going to shine through and the more that the guy is going to notice you. Okay, so the next thing that I have is don't be one of the guys. Guys don't like that. Some guys will, fall for the girl that's kind of tomboy-y, but most guys don't. Most guys want that, how do I say it? The girl that's outside of their circle. Because if you're dating someone inside of your circle, then it's kind of hard to ruin the friendship. And sometimes it's awkward for you, because if your friends, already know her and she's maybe dated someone that they didn't like, or she said something that they thought was weird, they're probably going to make fun of the guy. So you kind of want to stay out of their circle of friends. Now, if you've already implanted yourself in their circle of friends, that's one thing. And there's always ways to work around that. Just, either distance yourself from the guy behavior. Don't burp and, do stupid things. Just act a little bit more girly and act a little bit more respectable and feminine. If you are a tomboy, that's great, and, some guys really like that. So if you feel like if you're a tomboy and you feel like one of the guys that you hang out with likes you and you like him back, make that move and don't be afraid to do it. because you never know, it might work out in the end. Okay, so the last thing that I have is if you get rejected, smile. Don't stand there and look like you're depressed. Don't stand there and look like you're sad, because then they're going to know that you focused your whole day around asking them out, and that is not what you want. So if, you get rejected, just smile and say, I think you're right. I think we'd be better off as friends, but thanks anyway, and then just walk away. Don't sit there and be like, well, what'd you think about it? Well, could you, are you sure? Don't do that, because it's going to make you look desperate, and then he's probably not going to think about it. But guys hate to feel like they were rejected. So you can kind of turn it back around on them and be like, yeah, you're probably right, we'd be better off as friends, or, yeah, you're probably right, you're not really my type. Now, if they're nice about it, the better off as friends thing is great. If they're mean about rejecting you, just be like, yeah, you weren't really my type anyways, you're right. I just was trying to go for something different, but obviously that's not gonna work out for me, and it's no big deal, and just walk away and pretend like nothing even happened. So the next set of tips that I have is for dating once you snag the guy of your choice, or once you snag someone else because you realize that guy's not the right one for you. You're gonna want some tips for dating, because you're obviously gonna have to go on a first date. I remember my first date, I went to the movies. It was like the dollar movies, and I was in like middle school, and he brought his mom and his little brother, and it was really awkward. And then we went to McDonald's afterwards, which was even more awkward, and he is like all mean to me the next day at school because I refused to eat anything at McDonald's. And it really wasn't that I felt too good for it. It was kind of just weird with his mom and brother there, and I kind of just wanted to go home at that point. I was pretty agitated with it, with the whole situation. So that wasn't fun. But after me and my ex broke up of 5 years, and I've talked about that in a video or 2 videos before, I did date for a while just to see what was out there, and I ended up meeting my husband through dating. That doesn't happen for everyone. Obviously, eventually you will date someone and you will find out that you really love them and you want to marry them, and that's great, but don't get so set on the first person that you date or the second person that you date. Play the field a little bit, and if you happen to meet that person on the first and second date, that's great. But if they reject you a little bit, or you find that they're not feeling as strongly towards you as you're feeling towards them, it's also okay. So I'm going to give you a couple tips of dating that I have learned, that I had learned through dating and through meeting different guys. The first tip that I have is give examples and don't interrogate. Basically what that means is, instead of saying, well, what are your hobbies? Be like, I like to sing, what do you like to do? Or, instead of saying like, where did you go to school? Be like, oh, well, I went to Penn State University, where did you go? And I majored in this, what did you major in? You know what I mean? Give examples, let them feel like they're getting to know you and they're not being interrogated, because no guy likes to be interrogated. They feel like they're under some kind of questioning. Sometimes they feel like you know something that they don't know you know, and then they get all worried, and you don't want that. You just want to, have a flowy conversation, and you just want to get to know them a little bit. So just make sure that you give examples about things, and you put a little bit of you in there, but not too much. So, don't be like, I went to Penn State and I majored in this and I'm so cool and I did this, and don't do that. Just be like, I went to Penn State and I majored in art and it was great, and I really loved it. What did you like about college? What did you go for? Where did you go? So stuff like that. The second thing is, don't dress too conservative, but don't dress too outrageous either. You do want to show that you have a fun, flirty side, but you don't want to be the girl that they wouldn't take home to mom. Especially if you're younger, that's, obviously dress a little bit more conservative. But if you're older and you're going on a date with someone, you don't want to look like you're stuck up. So, you wear like a cute dress that's not too short, maybe a little bit above the knee, or, a cute skirt and a shirt, or some really cute jeans and like that adorable top that, you might wear whenever you go out to a special dinner or something. And don't be afraid to dress up a little bit. Even if you guys are going to do something fun, it's always nice to feel good about yourself. And if you feel good about yourself, the date tends to go better. The next thing I have is always wear your hair down. If there's a reason that you can't, that's one thing. Like if you cut it the day before, you got it cut and it looks bad, or, something like that happened, that's okay. But guys, I think guys like your hair down a lot more. I've come to notice that a lot more guys like it like that. Sometimes when you have your hair up, they think that you're uptight. They think that you're, not really free or open to things. Guys read a lot into the way that you look, and it's kind of strange, but it's true. So if you like your hair down, I would definitely recommend that. So if you're confused about how to put your hair down, that's what I think. And curls are always good, because guys, it gives you a little bounce and a little pep to your step, and you always want to look a little bit more excited than you do dreary. So curls are always a good idea. The next thing that I have is remember they are a person. Don't get so nervous being around someone because you feel like they're so out of your league or they're so much better than you. They are still just a person. They're just like you. Somebody, you know, a woman had them and they raised them and they made mistakes and they've dated people that have rejected them and so on and so forth. So don't get too scared. And then the last thing that I had is don't call back too soon. If a guy doesn't call you right away, don't get so scared that you call him back 25 times because that's going to scare him away even more. Wait it out, wait, you know, 2, 3, 4 days, and then if he doesn't call you, just call him or send him a text message and be like, hey, I was just wondering if everything was okay with you and if you wanted to see each other again. Don't, oh, I thought we had a great time and I don't know why you're not calling me back. Don't do all that. Just, hey, you know, I thought it went good. Did you feel the same? Would you like to see each other again? If not, that's okay. Make sure you let them know that if not, that's okay, so they don't feel pressured. So that's about it. I hope that this helped the person who requested this video, and I hope that it helps some of you, you know, more of you guys than just that one person. Also, on my nails today, I have China Glaze, Purple Panic, and O.P.I, Nicole by O.P.I, the next CEO. So that's it, and thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.